This is the third time we started this, and I would like to exchange my twin for a new one. If you'd like to know why, please send me an email at heather@sugarcookiemarketing.com, and I'll give you a detailed 20-point list.
I would like to make a sales post for myself. Great at baking. Can help you.
It's the highest, lowest, and mid-bidder. I won't even charge shipping. Actually, I'll pay for shipping. It is the podcast. Do you want to run us through what the podcast is?
Welcome.
And again, free shipping, and I'll give you 10% off.
Welcome to the Baking It Down podcast with Sugar Cookie Marketing. We're actually a spinoff from a group that is on Facebook. There's about 47,000 bakers in there getting ready for the Vendy Blendy.
Vendy Blendy on the brain.
On the brain.
Let me tell you.
Because guess what? November.
It's oh, yeah.
Away.
Oh, my God.
Is it Friday or is it Saturday? It's Friday. Yeah, because
Friday's
Thursday's
the 1st.
Yeah. Wow. Wowzers. Well, if you're wondering how this podcast came to be, I love listening to podcasts. And I said, you know what? I would love to grow my bakery while I bake.
Great.
And I texted Heather and said, find out all this stuff and learn how to make a podcast.
Thousands of dollars later. Here we are.
Here we are. Episode what? 180.
What do you think?
3.
4.
Oh, so close.
That's good. Seeing as how you don't listen to them.
We bring you marketing nuggies, know-hows, and to-dos each week on Tuesdays so you can grow your business. Today's topic,
Okay,
never
now you gotta
guess.
turn it down a little bit.
Today's topic, you'll never guess, is bakery burnout. Heather has a cool little name. I forgot it.
Boo-urn Out.
Boo-urn Out. We try to make it Halloween.
Boo-urn Out.
Burn out.
So we want to, and we cover this every year. And you may be like, well, I think I've already heard this. Yeah, because for some reason we always still need the reminder.
Listen, we always forget.
Yeah,
we get money hungry.
Here's why. Because all year you've done the work, you put in the market, and now you're seeing the results of that. And it's easy to fall in love with the greed of the grain.
I can already see posts arising in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Facebook group saying, I'm burnt out. What do? Is anyone feeling the same way that I'm feeling? I tell you, after this week, we're all feeling it.
Right. But all that marketing, all that foundation that you've laid all year because you've done the, why is your eye twitching?
Oh, God.
You're winking at me?
Is there a little mascara in there?
I
never wear
Hello,
it. So
I'm right here.
How
you doing? But we work so hard all year. We follow best marketing principles. We're consistent. We're sending out our newsletter. And now we can turn around and cash in on that. And we're telling you not to.
Yeah.
Because it's too much. And I was saying to Corrie the other day, are you winking at me again?
No.
Why are you looking at me
Listen,
like that?
I have mascara in my eyeball.
We were talking about it the other day. There's such thing as too much for a cottage baker. Yeah. There's orders that are too large. There is deadlines that are too short for a one-man band, and it introduces more problem than the money it generates.
Right. Heather, I suffer from
greed,
ego, and greed blindness. But I made 37 dozen cookies, and I was like, Heather, I can't wait till Friday because I don't have any orders on Friday and Thursday. They're all picking it up tomorrow.
As if Corrie has this boss who's just relentless, when in reality, you did it.
But then I got an order from the Washington Commanders,
which is the rebranded Redskins, the
football team. And Heather said, she sent an email, and it says, if I were you, I would say no, but I know you have an ego.
Right. And Corrie did say no, finally. So it is one of those podcast topics that has to crop up again this time of year. We're in our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get lost in the sauce of that money is so green, though.
With Halloween here, we're first. What's first down?
I don't
First
know.
right down.
Mm.
Whatever the little football term. Red flags are flying.
Kick off. So here is another list of 10 things to help keep your holidays cheerful. Because otherwise, you can sell yourself out and get no cheer. It's the doldrums of December.
Yeah. What I don't want you to do is get to December and you're the total Grinch and you're like, I hate baking.
And everyone around you is on eggshells because you are a grump because you got greedy.
But then you also turn out to hate your business and you're like, this isn't for me. I hate it. It took all my joy the last 2 months.
And I'm going to quit. Like that's the worst kind of marketing is where you do too well, then you take a huge step back and then you come back with a vengeance.
Every year I see.
Right. So if we can pace ourselves, and yes, the entire intention of this list is to have you make less money intentionally. That's actually the better business decision in this case, because I'd rather you make less money in December and still bake January through December next year than make the most money in December and quit for 6 months.
Inputting some of these things from this list is going to make you a better business person, because if you have no goals or guidelines or boundaries, you say yes to everything. You're wishy-washy. But if you're like, I have these set in stone and I cannot cross them no matter what, it's going to make you a happier person versus just saying yes because someone got at you. And then here's my big issue. Some random person will say, can you do this? I'm like, oh yeah, random person, I can. And then someone I know says, can you please do this too? And I'm like, I said yes to the random person, but I can't say no to this person who knows me.
You guys are allowed to say no. In fact, we're advocating for the no in this podcast list. So 1, turn off your order form when you're done taking orders. Now, Corrie just told me a funny story. She has a job form, and then you can set the days when you want the calendar to allow you to select a date. So Corrie's like, yeah, I've actually blocked off all of November and some of December. I've taken the orders that I want for those months. She gets an order for mid-December, and Corrie's like, oh, great, I can take this order. When she reaches out to the client says, hey, it's actually for the beginning of November. That was grayed out, and I'm just wondering if you could still take it.
You're wild.
Now, what's the answer to that, lady?
No.
It's no, because that calendar was already grayed out. But you may think, well, I think I could squeeze them in. No. Listen, because that is the bad business decision.
And you have to realize, we know that people out there, if they don't ask, the answer is always no. There's people that literally just ask. They already know it's no. They're not offended when you actually say the word no.
The people who don't want to tell no getters, the no givers who don't want to tell a no getter a no is the no giver who doesn't want to hear it themselves.
Yeah.
But the no getter is getting no's everywhere.
They don't mind.
They love getting no's.
Because they just want to double check and make sure it's a no.
And neither is wrong, because they say, well, maybe you could. Yeah. Maybe the answer is possibly.
I want to say that my son asks to go out to eat every day. I usually say no, but sometimes I say yes. And you know what?
Variable reward
Because
system.
I've said that, now he's going to continue to ask every day.
And I guarantee you the no getters, they've gotten told yes sometimes, and they're like, this is worth keep trying.
Yeah,
I'm worth the rejection
if
sometimes I get what I want. So we can't be mad at them. Don't form a louder.
They took last week's podcast where you have to practice getting rejected. They're so good at it.
So give it to me, buddy. People who love getting no's, they have a superpower.
You are.
They don't hear rejection. Yes. They hear maybe later.
Know.
So 1, turning off your order form. If you use Jot form, you can use the date, things like Corrie does. If you use Google Forms, it's just disable form. If you use a website, you can completely delete that for temporarily.
Yeah.
Or set up an autoresponder, like if you're using Square or something, it says, hey, thank you so much. I'm not currently taking orders. Banners on websites do that as well. You can do it on Facebook as your autoresponder. So there's ways, however you take orders, there's ways to stop taking orders. Only you can prevent forest fires and turn that off. Yeah. Only you can. Nobody can do that for you.
It feels so, I want to tell you, it feels so
bad business.
Definitive to turn it off.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm saying no to money and opportunity.
No to all this marketing I've done. I'm saying no to the profits.
We spent all year trying to get the best marketing out there so we can get orders, and now we're saying no. It is very counterintuitive in a business culture. 2, set your order maxes now. Do not deviate, in all caps. So let's say Corrie's like, I am going to, in the month of November, take 30 dozen orders max. The minute she gets that request for 31, the minute someone says, hey, I want to add another dozen, the answer has got to be no. You have to respect yourself.
Yeah. The problem is when you get these orders and they want to change it after the fact, that's when it gets dangerous, because you're like, well, I'm already making the order. Well, I could have, no, you got to be.
Soap, buddy.
You got to be. I had a customer show up yesterday and she was like, she wanted to do these little cake pop things. Can you do this? I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't.
But you see that look of disappointment. You see that the wall of reasons to say yes seems to overpower but I'll be miserable.
I know.
However, if you hate your business, you have no business.
Yeah. I want to say that she showed up yesterday. I was just in a sports bra and pants because I was cleaning the house.
Oh, champ.
Yeah, she shows up. My jacket in the kitchen. I'm in the basement.
That is so awkward.
I was like, so I ran down to the washing machine to see if I could just pull some stop and wet thing.
Did you
to
not
cover
know when she was popping in?
No, she showed up. She told me she was going to show up an hour before and leave something on the doorstep. No, she rang the doorbell and alerted the dog. And she's talking to the dog. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm naked right now.
Okay.
She was like, that's okay.
Next time I'll have to charge you. Sounds big. 3, schedule posts now. And we'll talk about more about what to include in those posts in later. I know Corrie wants to jump over there. So scheduling the posts now. Okay, if you want like a foundation, 2 posts a week for the next
You know what? I
9
think
weeks.
2 posts a week. That's my good spot.
That's actually Corrie's foundational standard. Anything beyond that she sees as icing on the cookie. But that is the minimum viable product. She gets 2 posts a week. And then so you could schedule those all out right now.
You could.
But you're like, but I don't know what I'm baking for Christmas yet. You have that set from last year. You have that content from last year.
Absolutely. You have classes and
From
class
last
photos
year.
from last
You
year.
have cookie
I want
cutter
to tell
shapes
you
from last
something.
year.
Nobody in your audience remembers what you baked last year. Only you do.
Oh, I absolutely guarantee
But
you
I
they
think-
never saw the
I
post
think
anywhere.
some bakers are like, no, they'll realize this was a...
Unless your skill set has increased so drastically that it would be an embarrassment to post the
I
old
almost
photos.
think my skill set has decreased.
Post the old photos. Lie to them. Get them and then give them something even less. But you can schedule out those posts now. One, it takes that thought off of the table. Like,
Yeah.
I do that for the clients that we work with. I'll schedule those bad boys out for months. I
Absolutely.
use an app called FeedHive.
Yeah.
But you can use Facebook Planner as well. But I'll schedule that stuff out, and then I just put in my Asana app, hey, don't forget to make new posts.
Yeah.
And I never had to think about it. And not having to think about it and just knowing it's out there doing its thing.
That's one thing to take off your, I got to do this.
Because you know the baker that's like, I know I've ghosted my page. And then you have to make that out. I know I've been MIA, but I won't let you guys know.
I've been
I'm
busy.
gonna- So we just want to keep that consistency. There is that theory that ghosting a page, the algorithm no longer favors a page.
Yeah.
I still believe it. I think the more consistent posting, the more Facebook will show your
It's
posts.
like the rotisserie chicken guy. He set it and forget it.
And
Remember
as
just a
long
little
as-
bit.
Yeah, and don't forget to turn off the oven
Yeah.
eventually. Like you can just schedule them out now. It takes, I would say if you did 2 posts a week, we only got 9-10 weeks left in the year.
Yeah, till Christmas is like 7.
So, ooh, gross.
Maybe a little
That's way too
8-ish.
close.
Yeah, we're in the middle of
So
7.
we got 8, so it's 8 times 2, 16. And we're not talking about a lot
No,
here.
that's not a ton.
That's not a lot. And you can knock 16 posts out. I think you could do it in an hour.
Yeah.
So we got that foundation. We won't have to think about it. We are not socially burnt out. Social
Right.
media management burnout.
Yes.
Okay, moving on here. Schedule days off now. All caps, no compromising. This is Corey's.
Listen, nothing is better than I love setting up my weeks where it's busy and pickup is on Friday. Saturday is cleaning up all the stuff from the week, and then Sunday is a free space. Stay in the bed, watch some videos.
Apparently not cleaning. We're waiting to the weekday
That
to
was
clean.
Saturday.
Oh, excuse me.
This is Sunday.
Yeah, so, but defend those days.
Defend those days because I let this past Saturday, Neiman Marcus had ordered last minute like they do.
And
I had to work.
Neiman Marcus.
I know I had to work the entire day, and I said, "Wow, I am bedraggled because we had class on
It
Saturday.
was a rough weekend.
It was can we call it a weekend? It was just an extension of the
If we
weekdays.
teach a cookie class on the weekend, it's no longer. It's a
shot.
work weekend.
Yeah,
I have to prep for it on Friday. I have to teach it and clean up after on Saturday, and then I have to clean up all the
I'm
supplies.
going
and
into
send
my
them.
14-day work week because I worked all weekend.
Right. So schedule your days off now. Look at that calendar.
I'm going to
forced.
take off my jacket. It's going to make a little bit of noise.
Okay. I forced Corey's hand to use Google Calendar, but it's a great way to just be like, "Oop, can't take that order."
Yeah.
I have that day is blocked off. Nobody needs to know why.
don't.
It's your little secret. Say, I have the most important client ever, myself. You don't need to tell them that, but you can say these days will not be touched. Schedule fun things on those
Yeah.
days. Buy tickets to a holiday light show on those
Yeah.
days. If you have a problem with saying no, schedule something
Right.
that makes you forces the no.
You know what? You can pre-schedule a massage at
Very
the
nice.
local med spa places.
Buying tickets to a tree lighting ceremony.
Yes.
Inviting a friend to go with you so you have to
Yeah. Yeah. You can really put some roadblocks in for yourself.
go.
So
So if you have a problem with saying no, force your hand there.
Uh-huh.
And so we're layering these. We're turning off the forms. We're adding ticketed events that make us happy.
Yeah.
We're putting in our Google Calendar so nobody can get around it. Set your hours on Facebook and make them shorter if needed. So Facebook pages have hours, business page hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Within those hours, your away messages actually work in tandem with how you set those hours. So you have an active away message if you want it, autoresponder, and then you have the after hours autoresponder. Typically, a lot of bakers, unfortunately, put 24 hours there. I never would because you're not working 24 hours. I know what you're thinking. I take leads 24 hours. I'll take your money 24 hours. But if you're in bed, you just need to say I work from like a 9 to 5. So if this is a hobby for you, you could actually put your hobby hours.
yeah, you can do time blocks. Like,
Right. I wouldn't go there and change my hours every day. I would just kind of set them, but I would change it for the next 3 months. And here's what I would do. Even if I was full-time baker, I would still put shorter hours. That way people know you're not accessible all the time.
Yeah. When it says 24 hours, that to me says, wow, they're baking 24 hours a day. They can probably take this last minute order. They're just sitting in the kitchen. They're just
twiddling their thumbs there in the dark.
Nothing.
It's 2 a.m. They're sitting in the kitchen.
What? That's what I think people think about me. She must be just sitting in the kitchen waiting for this order to come through.
I've seen this issue that bakers get offended when people submit orders at like 2 a.m. I am a late night shopper.
Yeah.
I prefer to do it when in the dark of the night in my bedroom and I'm scrolling, buying, inquiring. Right? I don't know. I do not ever expect an immediate reply.
True.
I would almost don't want one.
Early morning order.
Right.
I'm an early morning emailer order.
But neither of us are like, it's been 5 minutes after 2 a.m. And Corey's like, it's been 5 minutes after 5 a.m. And we haven't gotten replies. So setting your hours, back to the kind of topic here, setting your hours and making them shorter. If it's a 3-hour day, that means I'm accessible to you for 3 hours. Yeah. And then outside of those 3 hours, I'm actually doing other stuff. Whatever that entails, if it's baking or if it's family time, that's absolutely fine. You almost
want your hours to be the bad guy versus you being the bad guy. So like, oh, I'm so sorry. My hours are 9 to 5. I'm seeing this the next business day.
Yeah. Or my hours are, from 9 to 12. And then I go, and I think when I see a cottage baker, I'm not like, you're working full time out of a bakery in your basement. I don't think that either. Yeah. I think what I see when I go to a cottage baker and I see these bakes that you can clearly see are made at someone's home, that they're doing this probably most likely hobby. And if they're doing it full time, they're still not a 24/7 bakery.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know a bakery that's a 24/7 bakery.
That would be delicious. Some of those Korean bake shops are open super late. Oh. And they are delectable. I don't know if you guys have them. If you guys come into the DMV area, Korean bake, I don't know if I want to call them bake houses. They're like beautiful enchanted bakeries with enchanted trees. And for some reason, their fruit tarts and their cakes are perfectly cut and wrapped with a kind of like cello paper.
I have no idea how they
make
it.
It is a treat.
Perfect.
They are everywhere here and they are glorious.
Heather loves them.
If you were like, they have fun cakes in the shapes of cats. Cake,
and it's not a problem, it's a preference.
I like it. It's a really, really light whipped.
Heather does not like sweet stuff, unlike the rest of us who love.
I really do.
If I'm going to eat a buttercream, I want to taste the butter.
This is like a light whipped cream cake outer shell.
It's like buttercream, but if you were 2 rooms away.
Yes. The idea of buttercream on cake. I like them. But they have so many options. They have ice cream and gelato. And then they have all these baked breads. And these. I got a potato bread. Delectable. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to trust the process.
I know.
It was a sweet potato bread. So, don't, set your hours on Facebook, unlike the Korean bakeries, which you can go to pretty late. Moving on to the next one. This is Corey's. Don't always post links to sell. Elongate the funnel to slow down sales.
You might think, well, I'm posting. Let me just link to my website. But if we're trying to take fewer sales because we're booked and we're guarding our safe space, but we know we can't abandon our social media profiles, you can post a caption. You can post a photo and just leave off the link. The link to order is nowhere to be seen.
So if you listen to 182 podcasts, we talk about shortening the funnel. But when we need to curtail orders, the elongating of the funnel can have the opposite intended effect of making orders drop out of the funnel. Corey and I say like 2 clicks to order. That's kind of the max. You see that Amazon got single click to order, and that's why, because they know. Yeah. Now if Amazon's like, we're going to make it 5 clicks to order, half of your audience is going to be like, well, I got distracted. My kids called. I found another product. I clicked over there. I lost my logins. The longer we create that funnel, that we can slow down sales without having to say, I booked.
Yeah.
Because we know that the double-edged sword of saying I'm booked does get a lot of last-minute orders. It's almost a strategy used by.
And I hate when bakers like chastise their like loyal customers. Guys, if I say I'm booked, stop inquiring.
Dare you do what I've asked you to do all evening long.
So instead of spanking your audience, just hide the linkage a little bit.
Make it difficult to order. There. Make your calendar grayed out. If you really don't want to take orders, take the calendar off the order form.
You can totally do that.
You can do things to elongate that funnel so you don't have to be like, no. Instead, you can be like, no.
Yeah, because we don't want people do. I do see people order for me because they want to support me.
Yes.
They're not necessarily they need cookies. Like someone just ordered for their kid's half birthday. I didn't even know that was a thing. I can tell she's just trying to support me.
When is my half birthday?
It's been our birthday's coming up, so you have to think.
half birthday. How am I typing this into Google? It's gonna make
Is it
fun
called
of
a
me.
golden birthday?
That sounds like you turned to 55. Halfway to November 22nd. Oh, a half birthday calculator. May 22nd.
May 22nd.
Happy belated half birthday.
Yeah. So
I missed it.
Some people are just thinking of you, and then you're like, you know what? This would be great to take as a hostess gift to Thanksgiving. You know what? I think Corrie bakes. Let me go order from her. They're just being nice.
They're being nice. And we're like, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you celebrate your kid's quarter birthday?
I know.
And come to me when you knew I was booked.
Yeah, this thing went viral on TikTok this week, and it was this lady was like, yeah, I was having a birthday. I followed this cake baker for a long time, and I really just truly wanted her to make my cake because I like her stuff. She's like, but God, tell me, why do I feel like I was chastised for making order? Because the lady's like, my calendar isn't open. You can inquire in 2 weeks when it opens
Dude,
up.
I'm sorry. And I call it lawyer speak because Corey's ex-husband used to like, you'd be like, hey, I don't think I can make the drop-off time at 2.
Therefore, thou shalt not.
And he'd be like, I have received thine application to adjust the hours of exchange from 1 to 2.
You're okay.
And so sometimes bakers are like, I had this fun time making some unicorn cookies. Your dreams come true with Bakety Me, LLC. And then you're like, oh, can I buy some unicorn cookies? Thou shalt never request upon my door these cookies. So we don't want to have that personality change.
Yeah.
We don't want to be that split personality where we love orders and then suddenly when we have these boundaries, we're like, no means no.
I know.
No, like,
no
hey,
one's a complete sentence.
no, I would. If you have ever said no is a complete sentence or no means no to a client, please forward me their reply.
Yes.
I would love to know what hell and handbasket that went in. So what we want to do is like slow down our sales, and we can do that by elongating the funnel, or we can say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm actually booked for you today. If you have a problem with saying no, you can set up roadblocks that say no for you.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. 7, set a monetary goal. Once reached, stop begging. This is Corey's Achilles.
Is my Achilles tendon.
Corey was dipped into the greedy water and they forgot.
You know what? It's because we're twins and everything was halved.
Yeah.
Everything.
Including
And
our birthday,
whatever
which is
that
on
did to
May.
my psychology, my brain, having everything divided by 2.
Corey got great. So, yeah, we just call it, you got great.
Great.
It's like the short term of you greedy. Little son of a. So set a monetary goal once it's reached, stop begging.
Yeah.
So that would look like this. In December, I want to generate $3,000.
Yeah.
However that looks, it all goes into the pot of the goal,
Yeah.
right? So it's not, I want to teach 3 classes because 3 classes could clear
Oh, it could be a
$3,000.
ginormous class.
Or I want to sell that many, I want to sell this many customs, whatever it is. Once you, and you're keeping good records because you're a business owner and you like Excel and you know where your money's going, and you even use Wine app, you need a budget app. You know when you hit that $3,000 and everything after that is a clear and present no.
It's a no, and it's okay to say no to that.
That's a great one. So some people are motivated to bend their boundaries by money. Corey being a great example of those. Those people. Corey is them. Them is they. So what you would say is when I reach this monetary goal, it does not matter what the ask is. It's a no.
Yeah.
And that's a nice little boundary too, because $3,000, that's a lot. You can play with that. You can budget that. And once you reach that, everything after that, you don't really need. It's actually not a savvy business decision because you're going to get burnt out.
Because I know who I am as a person, what I've done to kind of force myself is like these DIY kits for Halloween. I only bought 13 boxes.
That'll restrict you. That's
so
a
I
great
had to
boundary.
tell people no.
That is a great boundary. I think we get kind of that like, why buy 10 when 100
I
be
know.
trick?
And so then I said, for Christmas, I'm only buying 11 boxes.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
so
enough.
I can
only
tell
got 11 of these.
myself no.
You can tell yourself no. So setting those restrictions around the no's is also another version of a roadblock. I like the financial one because when we talk business, we talk finances. That's kind of why we're on the business, to make money, to make that dough, making that dough. So when we say, hey, this is enough dough, Corey and I always reference this one time when we're like, what if we just didn't say no? It was the winter of 2020.
Yeah. It was
COVID,
insanity.
right? So no companies were still meeting in place. Classes were virtual. Oh no, it might have been 2021. I remember it was one year we just didn't say no. I think it was 2021. So it was still COVID. That's still COVID surge because nobody knew if we're still getting in rooms together. Right. So we never said no to classes. We never said no to DIY kits. We never said, and I don't do course customs, but she was taking those as well. we got so mentally sloppy that we started introducing mistakes.
Oh, there was
That
mistakes.
cost us money because we had to refund that stuff. And we were miserable. And I think the thing we said is never again. I almost think, and Corey doesn't see 11:30 p.m. until the Vendy Blendy, which is one time a year.
know.
That time we were there and we were hard labor slinging icing and said never again. This was miserable. All the money in the world isn't worth your happiness.
I know.
So that was that one. Take a lesson from 2021, Heather and Corey. 8, turn off your lights and go to bed. Just end your day.
You know what? Nothing feels better than if people with iPhones, we can put ours into sleep mode. Sleep mode.
Too on our potatoes.
Oh, really?
Tater, you just throw it in the bin and you go to bed. They're across the room and break.
So turning that off, and it stops the notification. So you don't see the Facebook notification. You don't see your email notification.
Question. On Apple people's devices.
Sure.
On your Apple Orchard folk. Can you set this new thing where it's like you do not disturb and it tells all your Apple contacts this person doesn't want to be bothered, but you can press a button that goes above it for them?
I do believe so.
Yeah, I saw like you can like say like, no, I know they don't want to be bothered, but I'm going to bother them regardless and click something.
I always, instead of do not disturb, I always turn sleep on.
You have no friends. Nobody's bothering you.
Instead,
it is me.
Instead of blocking Heather's name, I turn it on sleep mode.
Right. So turning off the lights and go to bed. I'm real big into the smart home thing. If someone's spying on me, they're going to be mad bored. But I have all the lights in my office turn off at a certain time. Why? Because I'm not necessarily counting the clock, but when those lights violate, it startles the cat every night. I'm like, oh, it's 8:30. It's 8:30. It's time to call it, man. We got to go. You need to set an end day. Sleep is so precious. And I say this, I read it once and I think about it all the time. The lack of sleep will be the cigarettes of our era.
One thing I do protect with my whole heart
is sleep.
Is sleep.
Amy messaged you yesterday at like 7:30. I'm like, you lost her, dude. You're 2 minutes too late.
My husband wanted to go to bed at the same time yesterday, but he was like, I have to take a quick shower. I said, I'm so sorry. My eyes are closing. He's like, you can't wait 4 minutes? I said, I cannot.
I'm not going to dog you on protecting sleep because it is literally how your brain washes and cleans itself. So it is breaking down whatever brain plaques are. And you can think clearly the next morning. The people who lack sleep are the people who are like, I forgot that order.
I know. And you know what? I love sleep. I love protecting it. I love a good night of it.
People are going to say, but the order isn't done yet. I just can't walk away from the order. That means you took too many orders.
Yeah.
So you can see that it's a cascade failure effect. When you didn't have a boundary over here, it cost you sleep, it cost you sloppiness, it cost you your oopsie fund over here, and then it's just a cascade failure. So if you're like, well, I'm not able to go to bed at 8:30, I'm not able to go to bed at 9:30 and still get this done, then the issue lies with turning off the order form.
When I think about taking an order, sorry, that was my watch. When I think about taking an order, I know how much time in the day I can give to that order while still maintaining my sleep cycle.
I know, it's on your mind.
But
I think when you wake up, you're like, I can't wait to go to bed.
Oh, absolutely. I even threw myself into bed last night. But like so I told Heather, I ended up making 37 dozen cookies this past week.
Don't worry, Corey's let everybody, strangers know.
I'm so tired. But not really because I've had to work every single second. So that means no endless scrolling on social media.
Darn it.
I know.
Which is endless scrolling does get dogged on. It is a recharging of sorts. It is that
but you can get lost in it.
Absolutely.
So I have been watching my YouTube little videos, but
I know
the phone can
I know
go
your
with
iPhone.
Me.
I know your little iPhone people tell you how much time you're in certain apps. Android people, if you use App Blocker, it tells me how much time I spent on certain apps. Yes. So you guys can kind of break check that there as well, which is in the other direction. Like too much doom scrolling, and that's not healthy either. If you're wasting all the time in bed doom scrolling to 2 a.m., not good either. We have to get that tight. Yeah. Corey likes to get that tight 10, you know? Tight 11. Tight 24 hours.
I can't wait.
So turn off the lights and go to bed. Find that cutoff day and help it. It will shape how you take orders, because if you're like, I'm not allowed to work after this hour and that order will not get done, I need to adjust how many orders I'm taking. 9, posted about this yesterday in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. Stop looking at competition. We have no clue how many orders each of us can take.
Absolutely not.
It is very stressful to see someone say, I am booked for December. And you're like, I'm not booked. I could take 1 million more orders. But we don't know. And that's what I always say. Corey and I use a free classroom space that only seats 10.
Yeah.
We will always sell out of classes because we seat so few.
So we always say these classes will sell out fast because there's no seats.
There's only 10 seats. Now and then I say, Corey, it's so funny when I see someone's like, well, I can't even reach capacity at any of my classes. And I say, well, how many seats do you have? And they say 45.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, you're generating more than us. You're putting in more work than us, but you feel that you're not sold out, although you would have sold out our classroom times 3.
And I want to tell you something. Lying is out there. Someone could say, I sold 45 million of this.
Here's the wild part. It's a strategy of some bakers to say, I'm sold out, because it does generate those people. Oh, can you squeeze me in? Yeah. And they are using that to generate orders. And if you agree or disagree with that, it's not up to us. It's not our business. But it's easy to be the baker that, oh my goodness, my competition is sold out, when we don't realize they're like, I'm not sold out at all. I'm generating these FOMO orders.
And I want to say, I feel this too. If I get an order and I feel like if I say no, they're going to find someone new. They're going to like them better. I'm going to lose the opportunity to ever get their business ever again. You know what? It wasn't in the card for me in the Washington Commanders. And she probably found a baker who is not sleeping.
The win that they had on that day was not in the cards for them either. Yeah. They were also surprised.
But so you will turn down an order and you'll think, oh my goodness, look at this revenue. Not only am I losing
the loss
it today,
of opportunity. I'm losing it in the future.
Yeah. That is something I sometimes have a hard time dealing with as well, because I'm like, they're going to find another baker. We're so saturated with bakers here. There's no...
But you're also so saturated with orders because the area supports this many bakers because we have this many people. So the economy, and it's called the invisible hand of the economy, it always dictates what we can do. The reason why it's saturated is because it can be.
Yeah.
If it was not able to support this many bakers, then no bakers would be here.
You're going to see bakers saying, oh, I'm already booked for December. You know what they did? They listened to this podcast.
And they said, I'm taking 3 orders.
Took their days off, had their cap on the cash, and they're saying that they're booked because they are setting up the correct boundaries to be successful and not burnt out by the end of December.
I saw, and I appreciate where the people are coming from that say this. Someone's like, I'm just, on this post I made yesterday, someone's like, I'm just a hobby baker. I can only do 2 orders every 2 weeks. Like, she was like, that's all I got. I really do have a full-time job. She's like, it bothers me when people are like, if you bake it all, you're no longer a hobby baker. She's like, no, I'm by definition, this is my hobby to generate some income. And I know what they're saying is like, appreciate your time. You've done it. You don't have to call yourself. But she's like, I want to be a hobby baker. I do not want to do this full time. I do like the spending money from it. And I'm not trying to be anything more than I am, but I book out so quickly.
Don't be a hobby baker means don't undercharge yourself.
That's what they're trying to say, but they're coming in on the wrong intention of the wrong thread. So it's like the no means no. I get what you're saying there. It's not helping. It's nice because you're saying defend your boundaries, but you're saying it in the wrong way in the wrong thread. Right. The person literally wants to know what to say to their client. So you just stop looking at the competition and then somebody else added this to that thread was like, find 3 people you really like and send them the orders and say when you're booked.
Yeah.
Can you remember me?
I love doing that.
Yeah.
Corrie, I got my little network, man.
It feels better. Corrie and I do not teach private classes anymore, lessons learned, but there is a lot of money on the table that we leave. I hate ghosting those emails because what I'm going to tell them, no, I'd rather say, here are 3 people that would be willing to come to your house and teach that class. And I think that they'd be willing to send people to our class when they're booked, because there's not every day you can teach a cookie class.
Yeah, and community over competition. If you're sending your extra orders to someone else, they in the future can send their excess orders to you.
So make sure that you're not just referring them blindly. Say to them, hey, I really like how you bake. I actually think you're on par with kind of my skill set. I'd love to send you some of my overage. And if you find yourself in a place where you're booked out, I would love to take any of that.
Because Northern Virginia is so vast, yet so small.
So big, so big.
Traffic separates us all. So I actually have it saved to my notes app. It's a list of local bakers, but I have a baker for every single area. Because a lot of people aren't going to travel 40 minutes to come and pick up something from me. Because that is a lot of time and travel, right? So
because here 40 minutes means a potential for 2 accidents, and that's going to be 2 hours.
So I have someone for Ashburn, I have someone for Sterling, I have someone for Vienna, just everywhere. I have my little network. I send them.
What's so funny? We teach cookie classes just kind of hit or miss whenever you feel like doing it, right? I'll be honest, there's no consistency there. But I love starting class, and I'm like, hey, we're going to go around the room like we're in 1st grade, and we're going to ask you what your name is, where you rolled out of bed from, and then your experience with cookies. I like those questions because it's an icebreaker, and I also know what their intentions are there. If they're trying to
really does learn their names very well.
I write it down, and I wonder if they hate it or if they love hearing their name.
In class on Saturday, we had 2 Jades, so that was an easy one.
I called Jade another Jade. Jade 1, Jade 2. It was so funny. These 2 Jades, they're from the same part of Australia. They found themselves, they did not know each other. They moved from Australia to Northern Virginia because of their husbands' jobs, and they're both named Jade.
Crazy.
They happened to meet each other, and now they go to cookie classes together.
Crazy.
So Jade 1, Jade 2. you're listening, hello.
Hello.
Crocky. There you go. Said it. Hello in Australian. Right
Where
there.
you were heading with that story was, I know you were going to say our competition friends.
No, I'm going to say all the other local cookie classes either that teach on Saturdays for an hour and a half.
Uh-huh.
They have moved. One person moved to Denver. One person moved to Tennessee. So all the people in the class are driving a tremendous distance.
Yes.
And I'm like, why? Elise, what's her name? Elise was like, I came here from deep in Maryland.
Yeah.
Which in Virginia speak, that's about 10 years away.
We're like, everyone got that.
and that's why she was like, I had to leave so early because I could have hit 5 accidents.
Yeah.
So, I was like, well, she was like, I can't find anybody between here and there. So there's a constant ebb and flow of cookiers doing things. They're doing it on the right day. Some at least only had an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Some cookiers have been teaching a 2.5 hour class. So there's just enough to go around.
There is. There totally is.
Right. And I would almost rather at least not have to drive to Virginia to take these classes.
There's this a local bake shop. It's called Fran's, but she was teaching cookie class out there, but the cookie lady moved to Denver. So
Corey and I actually took that cookie class in 2019.
But what's so funny is 2 of the class attendees came to our class on Saturday and found each other. They're like, we sat by each other in that class. So we called them Fran's plants. And we're like, go report back to Fran's that you had a great time.
She had, Jenna
Yeah.
had emailed me and she's like, hey, I know that you're sold out of Christmas class. I was wondering if we still could get a DIY kit. And I was like, absolutely, through Eventbrite, same way you got the DIY kit. And she was like, oh, thank you so much. Sincerely, Fran's by.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
So again, there's that opportunity is always creating itself. Don't look at your competition. Don't look at the twins that sold out every class. They only seat 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
They teach haphazardly.
Absolutely.
And then there's people that are teaching 45-person classes. There's people who are teaching, if you listen to Eventbrite, send out an email, you can do staggered ticketing times for a single event, which I think, if you taught 3 classes in a day, instead of creating 3 event listings,
that's so nice.
now you could do 1 event listing with 3 start
nice.
times.
That's nice.
And it's free. It's no additional cost.
Nice.
I'm not sure. I haven't put it into practice, but they did roll that out yesterday.
You also have to think about your life compared to someone else's life. Me with a teenager who doesn't want anything to do with me has a lot more time on my hands than someone with 2
Archer are
little.
glued
We
at
are
the
very
butt
glued.
hip.
I actually got him this nice cologne.
We did. Jimmy too. I went to Corey and I went to the men's cologne section of Nordy, which was out of my budget. But Corey said she was like, Archer is finally interested in a girl and wants a signature scent. And Corey's like, I feel like if I can introduce a signature scent, deodorant will follow.
Yeah.
At that age where you're like, I've smelled like a man the whole day.
I know. It's the one we got.
It was delicious.
Oh, he was like, he came into my room. Of course, he's never apparently put on deodorant or spray cologne. He's like, I'm looking for the button.
Did you tell him one sword?
We said
to start with.
But he came in. He was like, I'm looking for, is there like a button on here? He didn't even know there was a lid on the top.
Life comes at you, man, and you just don't know.
But we spray. I said, you smell delicious.
Why are you telling us about cologne?
Huh?
Archer doesn't want anything to do with you. Yes, he does.
Oh, I'm saying when kids, I have an older child, so I have a lot more time and flexibility versus maybe, a baby who needs to be fed and everything like that.
Is that what you do to them?
What?
You feed them things?
I guess you do.
Apparently
it works.
Corey's feeding them Olive Garden too. So stop looking at the competition. Focus on yourself. We have no idea what everyone's line in the sand is. If anything, be proud of them. Like, oh, you learned how to say no? Congratulations. I'm learning that too. I'm hoping to be booked off of what my life looks like today.
What's crazy is Amy, who is a mod in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, love her to death. She has 5 children.
It's like talking to her about, I'll be like, how's your Saturday?
I'm
she's like, I haven't slept in 10 years.
How can you pick up your phone? Like, you have so many kiddos. And she works like 52 jobs.
This is what it's like. Because and you go to bed, so you don't know what Amy does. Amy will be like awake at 11:30.
What is she?
And I'm like, why are you awake? And she's like, my kid is in the hospital, broke his arm. I have nothing to do. I'm sitting in the emergency room.
She works 5 million jobs. She has 5 children. A husband. I don't know how she does it.
She sleeps for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think her recharging battery is so much better than
I don't know how she does it. We look like lazy.
Oh, I'm like she's awake when I wake up, and she's awake
because I'm like, why? I'm like, Amy, sorry, Miss Corrie, she went to bed.
I know, but in the morning we must wake up at the same time because I swear I'll get a message from her like. And 5
I think we go to bed.
before.
I think I beat her to bed. Sometimes.
That's why I'm so curious how she lives.
Amy, if you're listening, are you okay?
Did you make a deal with the devil?
Let's call her okay. Are you okay? Me? 10, don't take last minute orders. It's a bummer. I hate to say no. Then you're like, but no, I'll charge him a rush fee. Delicious. And I'm right there with you. Tracking.
Yeah.
However, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it in this period where burnout is just so right there. It's knocking at our doors.
Here's the thing. This is the Super Bowl championship for every baker. It's not that it's just this one time that it's everywhere. Someone's going to be knocking at your door.
The reason why the person's knocking at your door is because 5 of their doors said, we're booked.
Yeah. Heather was like, the Washington Commanders don't care about you.
They
said that.
They're not going to be like, Corrie, you remember that time where, much like our football team, you went to the end zone when we didn't think you would? We would like to make you the official Commanders cookie.
Yeah.
They just needed and I said, Corrie, they sent that to 50 bakers. Because I was like, did they reply? And Corey's like, no. And I was like, yeah, because they got that much rejection. They wanted a custom set in 2 days. I probably delivered to DC?
Yeah,
I don't know where they're headquartered anymore.
Ashburn.
I thought they moved from the Marshmallow Building.
They still have it.
It was deflate. They were literally deflating it
the
other day.
It was deflated when I came over
there.
there.
I don't know. I don't know if you've ever seen these football fields. They put a tarp. They blow up with air. It's the biggest marshmallow on the horizon.
It's because they can change the temperature very easily inside, so they can practice in the cold.
Imagine if it snowed on it. You just go foop, 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 and the snow falls.
I wish you could just jump on it and then...
It's a giant Halloween pumpkin.
Archer calls it an igloo. It does look like an igloo.
I think it looks like a melting marshmallow into the horizon. It is a very unlike a building, but that's where you find it. That's where they play, I guess.
Yes.
So don't take those last minute orders. Tempting, great business practice outside of this time. It will be the order you hate.
It will. Most. And next year, you're going to get a ton of those same kind of orders. It's not just like, if I don't take it this year, it's never going to happen again.
In the Cookie College. In January, the first week of January, I say write a letter to yourself about the lessons you've learned from the nightmare you made in December. They don't realize that I still have these emails. I send it to them on December 1st. And they get to hear from them past selves. And it says, what did you wish you did more of? What do you wish you did less of?
Did I write to myself?
You'll get it if you got it.
I was so busy, I couldn't.
I was too busy. But in January, we slow down. We're like, ooh, I hated what I did there. Ooh, I hated that. I took on too much.
It was so funny. Someone in the college was like, tell me about teaching classes in January compared to
I was like, I want you to take everything you know and flip it upside down and then add some tears and then come up with some copy to cancel that class.
I know, it was so funny. It was so funny.
Yeah, like if Corrie and I could add, and I said to Corrie, if we added 30 more Christmas classes, not 30, if we added 1 more, 2 more, 3 more, they're still fill out and people will be like, hey, you're going to teach another class.
Yes.
I can't make it on Saturday. Or my family came in last minute.
Nothing, you know what?
It's great. This time is great.
It is. Nothing perturbs me more than people are like, can you offer more DIY kits? If you offered them, I'd buy them. So you're like, you go crazy. You order 30 more boxes. All right, guys, you asked for it. Here it is.
Darn it, I'm stuck with a very, very specific box style. So that's just our list of 10. You can go back every year on this podcast and find out a list of 10 ways to
I want to say you're not alone in feeling overworked and burnt out, but the only you can stop forest fires and your burnout.
Right. We all took this leap of faith to be our own bosses, even be our own part-time bosses, and only we can protect the employee of us.
Yeah. Even Heather loves to remind me when I complain about an order, she's like, I wonder who took that one.
Oh, wow, that's so unfortunate that you told them yes, and you let them add another dozen, and you told them they could pick up whatever.
Right. So what I don't want, and I hate when I see negative backers post in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, I hate this, I'm quitting. How can I announce to my customers I hate them and I never want to take an order ever again for the rest of my life? It is our own fault. But we can also be the ones who make this a pleasant time of the year.
It could be our delicious time for easy money that fits within our goals and our lifestyle and what we want.
Yeah. Me and Heather are your biggest cheerleaders if you want to make a ton of money, and we're your biggest cheerleaders if you want to
cover Christmas,
the joy of Christmas.
Yeah.
We're cheering you both ways.
Both of them are great business decisions when they're intentional.
At the end of the day, we are marketers and we teach you marketing tips. Marketing, unfortunately, works.
We have to do this podcast every Tuesday.
Yeah. Marketing works. You're going to get more reach, more sales, more inquiries. That's what marketing does.
Too bad Cookie World wasn't more of a like a monotone line of sales. There's but when you have these real slow times in the summer, and then you have these just huge, it just starts so quickly in August, goes to football, Super Bowl in December, and then it goes back to nothing in January because everyone's like, I'm on a budget now.
Yeah.
I overspend January. And I'm on we also have January diets going against us.
I know.
We have all these things going against us. And then wedding season isn't until spring, really.
I know.
Then we're like, oh my goodness, but I remember the scarce times. And I feel like I've got to gather when the harvest is ready. And if I don't, I'm leaving money on the table. And it's just really an adjustment of expectations. Landscapers know it. They understand
Yeah.
here. We don't get a ton of
Yes.
snow, but you take on enough summer grass orders, and then you hedge your bets with the winter plow stuff.
What's so funny is I feel like there's these like old seasoned bakers standing on the sidelines, like shaking their heads, like, look,
They'll learn.
they'll learn the hard way. Because new bakers have never experienced this.
It's wild.
It's wild.
If this is your first year and you had the hellacious J months, and then you're like, oh my goodness, it's finally working.
Yes.
You're going to be like, I'll take every order possible because that's what I'm supposed to do, because that's what I've been working for. And then you're like, oh my goodness, I hate this. I'm never doing it again.
Nothing will break a new baker more than this season and not being able to say no.
Yeah.
And it's so delicious to say yes.
Yeah.
It tastes. I love making a sale. I hate making the sale.
You hate baking the sale. I love making the sale. So that takes us through our list of 10. I hope that you guys make an intention to enjoy this season. Corrie was like, I'm going to put up my Christmas tree in October, and I could see it all. And then Corey's like, well, I'm actually rushing through Halloween. There's Halloween decorations.
Yes.
You know, our kids, this is last year's trick-or-treating or whatever, with his Jimmy Choo cologne. He's going as Jimmy Choo. Just kidding. But she was like, yeah, I got to slow down a little bit. I'm rushing through this, and I'm not really enjoying my life as it flies past me because I'm too busy with my head in a mixer.
Yes.
So we should do, you wanted to go to New York City.
I was thinking.
You saw also Virginia Beach. There was a lot going on there.
I said New York City, and someone was like, no, let's go to Virginia Beach.
We should go. It's 4 hours.
Which one?
New York City. Well, both of them were.
We did go to New York City. I know we talked about it on the podcast on Christmas Day.
Yeah. It was completely empty, but all of the lights were still up on
I know. You couldn't really honestly go in any of the stores because it was closed, but it was such a vibe.
It was like a quiet. And then we went to, where's the place with the big square, 30 Rock, with the big tree?
I know what you're talking about.
Someone from New York.
Times Square?
No. We did go to Times Square.
Rockefeller Center?
Rockefeller Center.
Yeah.
And people were ice skating.
I thought the best part was I want to say it was Saks Fifth Avenue. We went and it was that building that's a present.
But all of Fifth Avenue turns into that.
Where it's got like all these lights on it.
Did we walk the bridges? Like, were we the only people on the bridges?
I absolutely think so.
Yeah. It was a vibe.
Yeah.
We should go.
We should go.
Okay. What we get one cheesecake from New York City.
Yeah, I feel like
from Olive Garden. Olive Garden, Times Square.
They do?
Yes. Oh, it's the one where Post Malone ate.
No way.
Yeah, there's this
where he had all those
Olive
videos
Garden.
of him being funny.
Yeah, they're always there at that Olive Garden in Times Square.
That's crazy.
Text 571-556-5644 if you want to text in, or there should be a button on your podcast player that says like text this podcast or something. This is one of those. Hi, twins. Twin emoji. Will Sassy Trays be participating in the Vendy Blendy? Holding off on buying them just in case. By the way, I love the episode on saying and hearing no last week. After listening, I sent a follow-up email on a deal that I thought was a no, and it's looking more like a yes now. I appreciate y'all. Hope in Knoxville. That's a great question.
Yeah.
And the Vendy Blendy is a great segue from this.
Is Sassy Trays signed up?
No,
they're not yet.
And I know you're like, wow, you just went on our blast here. Yes. Because this past week we did, I don't know what I call it, the peer pressure post.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's fantastic.
And you guys came in. You just came in with the energy we needed.
You tagged.
You got into the end zone that Corrie wouldn't bake for.
You conquered.
So what we did is we post to the Sugar Cookie marketing page, not the group, the page. And then we say, hey, bakers, tag the shops you would love to see in the Vendy Blendy that you will promise you will buy from in the comments. It pings these pages. So the manager, the owners of the company.
They're like, oh my gosh.
Either
I've done something horribly wrong and I've gone viral.
Bing, 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 bing. Like I'm getting tagged on this post. In the post, it explains how they can sign up. And you guys came in and you did it. So that took the Vendy Blendy. I said my goal for the Vendy Blendy this year, and I know we pushed our luck with the 25%, was 62 vendors. Last year we had 72. At 20%, this year we were asking for an additional 5%. And that's a lot. That's a lot to ask. And I said if we had 50 vendors, I'd be like, great. If we got 62, that was my greedy number. We now have 68. 68.
Let's go over the new ones that signed up. Go. Sure. Newest to oldest.
Signed up this morning. Daisy Makes.
If you are a cake popper, your light bulbs just went off. You're screaming, you're yelling, you're crying, you're throwing up.
I'm throwing up. I am throwing up. And I don't even bake it. I don't know what Daisy makes, but she's running 25% off. Okay. Then we have Lil B's Cutters. She's running 25% off. You never guess what she sells. Cutters. Savvy Cakes Collective. This is an Australian company.
Oh, nice.
Yes, the Aussies.
I did see that.
The Aussies are like, cracky, we need to get more of this on the list. It's shrimp on the barbie. And they came in at 25% off. Baking Me Crazy, 25% off. Why do I feel like Baking Me Crazy was from last year?
We literally looked them up. I don't know.
Baking Me Crazy. Come on, Baking Me Crazy. You're on the tip of my tongue. We'll check after. Okay. Wildflower Bakery. She was very nice.
You guys tagged her a bajillion times.
Here's the funny part about her. She emailed me and she's like, what is this made up thing? And I was like, yeah, it's called the Vendy Blendy. I said, it sounds like a cult, but I promise you it's like a shopping day. And I said, you just got to run 25% off. And then she submits her stuff. And I was like, girl, you came in at 35% off. She's like, I know. I felt the hype in the panic.
This is their first year.
Well, this is their first year. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for Baking Me Crazy. Sorry. LCW.
Everyone is screaming, crying, throwing up again.
We know that. Okay. Archon mounts, which is so funny. Yeah. Archon mounts, I had asked them to sign up our first Vendy Blending, and they were like, no, in as few words. And they have come back this year, and whoever this is, said 30% off.
30%.
Yeah. TPS cutters, 30% off.
Why is that name so familiar?
STL files is what it says.
Oh,
very,
nice.
Very cute stuff I'm seeing right here. Periwinkle cutters.
We all know them.
We do. We love this. 30% off. Said, hold my cutter shop. I will be coming at 30% off. Danikara Creative. Don't want to mispronounce that one, but you guys spanned her. I was like, no. She was like, I already signed up before this.
I know.
I signed up before the post.
I know.
So she got there. And it's the people I featured last time. Actually, the people above this, if you want to know the rest of these Vendys, I actually, in a Facebook Live last week, went through each one. I told you where they're shipping to and if they offer free shipping and a threshold.
Let me just show you this periwinkle cutters thing. It's Elf Decorating Station pre-printed tags. But look, he decorates on a pre-printed tag.
That is for the Elfer on the Shelfer. You guys want to know that. So the Vendy Blendy, if you're hearing this for the first time, the rock under which you crawled, let me break this down to you. It's November 29th this year. It's always on Black Friday. It's a 24-hour shopping event. So for 24 hours, these shops have agreed to let you get these discounts at a 25% minimum. But you can see almost want to say more than half have come in at higher than the minimum requirement. But the minimum requirement is the highest it's ever been for this. This is our 4th year doing it. It is a vibe. It is a hype. Corrie and I sat down on Thursday. And we came up with our offerings. We came up with the door prizes. Everything is locking in here. It is going to be an upper.
When I shop something and it's 20% off, I'm like, that's decent. That's okay. If I see 25% off.
25% off gets me.
Where's my debit card?
If you tell me. If
I see 25% off.
If you tell me 25% off and one day only, I will buy something.
My hands begin sweating.
Oh, I panic, create a list.
I put everything in my cart and I just try to go through my cart. I need everything in the cart and then I'll go through the cart and decide.
I think the vendors last year were great at 20% off, but one commenter stuck a fork in us and we weren't able to pry out the fork. But they were like, these are great deals. But some of these shops run 20% off all year.
I know.
And Corrie and I were like, well, how can we call this? How can we call this the best sales day of the year when it's all year?
So we said, let's chit chat. We've been planning this since, I want to say early this year. We
started promotion in June.
Yeah, but we had to nail down what we were going to ask of these folks very early.
Yeah, and man, did you guys show up and show out. Okay, so the vendors have done their part. These are my peoples, right? I need my penders. To show up. And you guys have been doing great.
Everyone has bakers following them on Instagram. How hard would it be to post your stories?
I'm going to make a graphic for them. And I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to challenge you guys to post this graphic if you're pending and get more pendies.
Listen, Heather is team vendors. I am team penders.
Yeah, we go to this battle. Okay, here's how many penders you have. 3,371, which is great. They're actually getting added like hourly now.
From last Thursday to today, we've had a tremendous amount of
Corrie and I, in this dinner where she starts ignoring me because she's on her phone.
The dinner was 3 hours long.
It was a blast. I thrived. I said I'd give somebody a 3D printer, A1 Bamboo Mini, if they were just pending.
I know.
And so I said, okay, because I think sometimes people are like, how are you choosing these winners? Are you choosing your friends? Like, no, I can't begin to describe to you
Heather is like
bipartisan these are.
Has morals. She will not choose somebody she knows. So I would suggest that rescind your friend request from her so you can be on the list of winners. Because if you're related,
I'll pick whoever the system chooses. So I came up with this idea. Ruth Ann was sitting on the couch And it's so funny. I've been talking about the Vendy blending. I know it's a made up word. And her face just glazes over. And I said, do you know what I'm talking about? She was like, mixers. And I was like, I can see where you're coming from. Blendy, mixer. I said, no, it's this whole event. Anyways, I said, I got to pick a winner. Give me your favorite 2 letters that would occur naturally next to each other in typical words. So don't give me X and Y.
Yeah. It can't be like.
Don't give me like D and G. Like I need a vowel and a.
She chose her own name.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. Did you hope you'd win? And then I said, pick a number 1 through 20. So I went through when you manage a group and there's pending members, you can search through the members. I typed in the letter she gave me, which is RU. Her name is Ruth Ann. And then picked the 5th one down. It was a lady named Ruby.
Yeah.
And she should be arriving to her like in a couple days.
Rube.
So
when?
If you think that was fun, you are not ready. You are not ready for the Vendy Blendy and what we have in store for you that day. We have over $10,000 in door prizes and giveaways.
Next week will be the Vendy Blendy podcast where we break it down. We give you some strategies.
We'll go through it. It'll last a little too long, this podcast, because we have so many vendors and I want to talk about where they're planning to ship and how much to get free shipping. I was going to add something. Oh, yeah, I'm teaching a live tomorrow. My secrets to getting the most out of Vendy Blendy. So kind of like, okay, girls, I can't be there for the 24 hours. Like, here's where I'd recommend. Here's how I'd enter these door prizes.
Heather's already done 2 lives. Intro to the Vendy Blendy. So if you're like, I don't even know what this is.
With a watch, because it really kind of explains what that is.
My favorite is when she goes through the shops and shows you their top sellers.
That I did last Tuesday.
She did. And that was an extendedly long live.
It was an hour and a half. This one will be back to 30 minutes. And I'm just going to tell you the tips I tell the vendors. So then I'm going to tell you what I tell them to squeeze the most out of this.
Yes. Are you going to are you waiting on the door prize announcement?
What do you want? I'm sorry. What do you want?
Let's wait till next week when we cover.
Then I'm going to make.
Blendy.
Okay. We'll talk about that once.
All right.
You guys don't get a haircut, but I hope you're dying to know.
All right.
Moving on. If you want to if you want to see this list of Vendys, go to thevendys.com. It'll take you to Google.
The word Vendys, because the amount of times I typed it incorrectly.
THE,
the
VENDYS.
DYS.
Since Vendy is a made up word, I was like, I had to be consistent in how I spell it. So I never do an IES. I just went with the YS.
Yeah. I want to tell you, IES is an actual company in UK.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I kept looking it up.
Yeah.
Do we have any text message?
I just read it.
That was it? Just one?
Also, Sassy Tray Lady.
Sassy Tray Lady.
Jamie Bowman. I even know your name.
Jamie.
I would love to get an Eddie Sassy Tray in there. No, Eddie's not signing up. I asked. I heard the rejection.
A tray would be nice. A
tray would be nice.
We got people that are doing PNGs. Pinges. We need a tray.
We got Stoles. STLs.
Stoles.
We need a tray.
Okay, we're getting weird.
Moving on, the Cookie College. Corrie and I came up with our Cookie College Vendy Blendy offering. Do we say this?
Do we?
I think we do. Okay, so queso. In the Cookie College is $76 right now. If you sign up, it's $76 a month. Cancel anytime. You can sign up for a year and you get 2 months free.
Yes.
We run for the Vendy Blendy the original grandfather price, which has always been $68, and you could sign up for yearly, which gets you 2 months free.
It's never ever been cheaper than $68.
It has never ever been. So that's what we always say is the Vendy Blendy is the cheapest it's ever been. But Corrie was feeling good on Thursday.
It was mostly you.
Said, let's do one day, but this will be the only time. It will never happen again.
This will be the cheapest it's never been.
We're going to take the Cookie College and make it the price of the class kits just for this 24 hours. It will be, and that means everyone, including current members, can cash in on this.
So if you don't know how much the class kits is,
$63.
$63.
The Cookie College probably gets 3 times the amount of content that the Cookie Class Kits get.
Listen.
I'd even wager 5 times the amount.
I'm going to tell you something.
Facebook group.
It will be for only 24 hours.
Corrie will not.
If you say, oh my goodness, my alarm didn't go off, I overslept, I'm so sorry. I'm glad you had a great night's sleep. You will not be honoring it after the 24 hours.
This will only exist for 24
And I'm going to tell you, it will never happen again.
It will never happen again.
The amount that Heather had to barter with me.
I was like, listen, I'm going to use the bathroom. I'm going to leave you with these thoughts real quick. I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk. I don't want an immediate no.
It will be for 24 hours. It will not happen again. That is my promise to you. Corrie, you're just trying to get signups. Listen.
Yes.
We heard that I'm greedy. This will never happen again.
The $63 can't happen again because the Cookie College is so much different than when we even unveiled it at $68 4 years ago.
There's so much in there to grow your business.
You get the cookie class kits from 2023, from 2024, and you'll get the if you stay, you'll grandfathered into the I cannot boot you from a $63 rate. You'll essentially get the cookie class kits rate and all the Cookie College content for 2025.
So as long as you get 2 years of classes, just starting
Corrie
off.
obviously thinks this is too good of a deal.
Listen, the amount of time and effort it goes into making these classes.
I gotta sit down and do the class for Christmas.
Just the classes alone to get 2 years worth of classes, plus whatever you stick around for in 2025, which Sweet Pink Olive already said, yeah, we're doing them.
Oh, did you want to do the door prize of the 2020? We should do the door prize of the 2023 class cutters. In the 2024 class.
We'll discuss.
Okay, we'll discuss at lunch. I'm getting gritty.
You are getting a little gritty. You're getting crazy.
So the Cookie College, if you sign up today, you'll pay $76. You can switch to that plan on that day. Don't worry, I'll spam you. I'll make sure you know it. But everybody who's in the college currently can cash in on the Vendy Blendy. Last year, you guys couldn't because some of you had that old rate because you signed up at the beginning. This time, I hope every single one of you switches to that $63 plan. I will fight.
I will make sure you don't hear about it. Heather will be making sure you do hear about it.
Listen, if there's one thing I can do, I can spam. So moving on here, we have a Facebook Live. Now, I do have these Facebook Lives coming up for the Vendy Blendy. Let me just pull those up real quick. We also have a live taught by Bonnie Bradley on November 1st, which is so quick.
Yes.
Let me go to events. So tomorrow at 7 p.m., it's Secrets of Shopping the Vendy Blendy. I'll only talk till 7:30. On Friday is November 1st.
That's insane.
It's at 1 p.m., again, Eastern Standard Time for both of these. Cozy Fall Cake Pops with Bonnie Bradley. And then next Tuesday at 6 p.m., the Cookie College and the Vendy Blendy, where I'll talk more about what the Cookie College is and what you stand to get at that cheapest it's never been price.
Cheapest it's never been.
Then I got to post this in the Cookie College Facebook group. You didn't know that the Cookie College level, the Cookie Class Kits doesn't get a group, but the Cookie College level does. So everyone in the Class Kits, you can also switch to the Cookie College and see no change in that price.
The best thing about the college is the courses, not just the classes. It's the courses designed to help you be a better business baker, which...
That is a membership that you're confusing.
I want to say someone
Baker's
emailed me and
Business
said they said your job form is amazing.
Really?
They said, how did you do it?
Tell them I had this twin.
I didn't. I
keep her in a closet.
Had Heather do it.
That was kind of hard. I even had I think I had to almost hire somebody. No, that was for your Shopify. I did that one.
Yourself, yes.
It has gone through a couple iterations.
Right, let's go to our sponsors.
I would love to lead with AE Core Backers, also known as the Backers Code. They rebranded. They'll be in the Vendy Blendy at 30% off, but you can get that discount right now for 20% off using code SUGARCOOKIE at checkout.
Yes.
It is a kitchen remodel in a box. It is everything you need to up your photography game. I would say if you're wondering what to get yourself for Christmas and you don't have any of these, this should be at the top of the list. 30% off at the Vendy Blendy too.
Cake Pop people, you need 2 in the L brackets.
You said Cake Pop people size up, right? They have 3 different sizes.
No, Cake people, but Cake Pop people you're fine with the 23.
Oh, but you need the L brackets to create the back. So the L brackets will connect to AE Core Backers and create an L shape. So you get the countertop essentially and the wallpaper.
Yes.
And you can really flip those around, flip it and reverse it. You can flip it and reverse it and you get more options. And then AE Core Backers, they have special drops and launches and they have different colors. Are you looking at my snake?
Yeah, he's up on the top. He's wedged himself, and now he's coming down the other side.
Snakes are wild pets.
You actually have more pets than I do now.
Yeah, I have 3, and I have capped out at 3. Yeah. 2 that have a lot of teeth. One that's
a lot of attitude.
Yeah.
Next up is Royal Batch. It's the meringue powder I use, and many of you have started to use it over the years. It is delicioso. It has vanilla extract in there, white food coloring, and corn syrup in there. She has Nair. Never have I ever seen her offer 25% off. She will be a part of the Vendy Blendy at 25% off.
I want to see if she's doing a door
She's
price.
known to sell out though. So if you wanted to score it at 10% off now, use code TWINS. But if you're like me and willing to take the risk,
she is a door price.
What is it?
£5.
5-pound bag?
5-pound bag. She did that last year and she let me post it.
I know.
Someone was like, I thought she was doing it. I was like, oh my goodness, she had asked me to do it because she had to go out of
Yes.
town.
I want to say, if you need to, inventory your ingredients now, 'tis the moment to inventory it. I just finished a 5-pound bag. So I know I'm going to be going for a 5-pound bag. Especially as that 25%
Would it be
off.
like great to get 2 5-pound bags, or is there no way you could use it before it expires or something?
It depends on how much
you're
bacon.
willing to
Yes.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Last but never least, and if you've been truly good this year,
Yes.
Eddie, the edible direct-to-food printer. If it sounds crazy, they're not in the vending machine. They've never been in the vending machine.
Yeah.
They're full price.
Yes.
But you can get, and I'm a refurb girly. All those Canon cameras refurb.
You're right,
I love
you're
them when they're factory refurbished,
You are
and I
right.
know that the company is going to stand by its product.
Mhm.
You can get. I feel like you're dingling something. Your little cable is touching your trailer.
Okay.
The factory refurbed Eddie, you can
Yes.
get for like 20. Don't quote me on that. 2,300.
Yeah.
It's on their website.
Mhm.
You can go over there. The real, if you guys are like, I like new in box, never touched, never seen, $3,000. That's crazy. That's a crazy price. That is high priced. And you may be like, what product would be worth that investment?
Let me tell you something.
One that pays for itself.
Let me tell you something. I could not have said yes to Neiman Marcus.
Oh, it was in an Eddie order?
It was Eddie, and I put gold on the print.
So that's another sleight of hand, because Eddie is essentially a food ink printer. It prints on this thing, and they've discovered these cookiers that are trying everything with it.
I know.
If you brush gold with it, it sticks to the print color.
Yeah,
and
so
you
it
can
looks like
do-
it printed gold.
I know. It's the easiest way to gold filigree.
Oh
anything.
my goodness. I would, otherwise you'd have to be hand painting it. This was brushed on something that was printed.
So you're saying $3,000, but she's got an Neiman Marcus order, and what are you charging? What are you?
It's going to be over $1,000 for these ones.
So, and she's done Neiman Marcus order 5 times.
Yeah.
So he's paid for himself in this one client,
Just one
who only
client.
wants printed orders.
I know, but there's so many other clients who have ordered med spas, yoga
Consider
studios.
this. Maybe your business boundary is, I want to take as many orders that cover an Eddie.
Nice.
That you rack at $3,000.
Nice.
Definitely check them at Eddie Printers Usage Group on Facebook.
Yes.
You can also see them on Instagram. You can see how people are using this
You
stuff.
can see them on TikTok. It's
I
very
actually saw,
peaceful
and Jamie
overlay.
Bauman, the sassy J lady, does
Yeah.
not know I exist.
No, she doesn't
But I
know.
see her post on Vendor Monday
Yeah.
in the Eddie group, and she had used the trays to print on donuts, and it was so cute.
Let's all tag the vending
She's
Monday.
gonna be like, you believe. I'm not above it. The worst she can say is no, right?
Do you have a Twinterest? The Twinny
Pinterest.
Terrace.
We got the box for this idea Corrie had. The come on, man. The advent calendar, the twin advent.
Oh
calendar.
yes, they are DIY. Make your own boxes.
I'm sorry. I just have to do a little asterisk. Heather, Campbell, Berkshire, and Kim have asked me 5 times to go to the post office mailbox.
How dare you?
I know. Why can I not get my
We
butt
were
out
literally there on Thursday.
there? I could not. But it closes. It closes at 6.
could have gotten your butt.
I was fighting
there.
for them to get a deal on the cookie college.
We were there at 4.
I know. So I will be going this week. And I know you two are listening.
I've chastised her.
I've been chastised. Although you live 5 minutes from it and I live 35 minutes
I'm going to
from
tell you
it.
something. Nothing in my life is over there. And there's about 1 billion lights between me and that place.
Oh, I'm tallying up that I know you were there recently.
Yeah,
Also
last
with me on Thursday. Why didn't you get your
No one
butt
told
there?
me to get there. Nobody
went
showed me.
There.
I was there this morning.
That was
for
really
that
loud.
order.
What did you get there?
It was the order I had to deliver.
You
They're
brat.
right across the
Get
street
your
from me.
butt.
I
If
didn't
you
even know there was
see-
something to
Here's
look
what I'm going to say.
for.
Kim, if you're listening. They're doing bridge construction. To get out of that
I
town
will
center, to get
say,
in that town center
And
is,
gladly.
is 50 light cycles.
When gladly.
I need everyone, and I find myself saying, if we all press the go-go pedal at the same
know.
time at full speed,
You know what
we
I
can make
think?
it through.
We can make it if we try it. Just the 2 of us.
I'm like, go, 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 go. Nobody's like, no so, no so. We just go.
I know.
I'm going to go.
I know.
Okay, back to my twin dress. You got the advent calendar boxes. We gotta
I
assemble
know.
them.
Yeah.
You'll have to take yours home and assemble it, and I'll
Okay.
take mine home and assemble it.
Okay.
What was my twin dress? We went to the Viore store. Corey's wearing it. Viore, not a clue. It's a California brand, but it is the softest fabric.
It used to be online only.
But you could get it at REI's here, and then you could maybe
Yes.
find it at Nordstrom.
Yeah.
But the quality, and I'm into my 30s.
Quality
I'm rather one piece that lasts forever than 10 pieces that last a single Shein wash.
Yeah.
So Viore has really, really soft fabric. Like when you put that on, you're like, this is more comfortable
Butter.
than being in bed. Like
Yeah.
this is a walking mattress glued to my legs. very oddly soft. And I have a mental problem that I have to wash my clothes every time I wear them.
Yeah.
I have to wash everything. I have washed, which is the shirt I'm wearing, I have washed it, I'm going to say 100 times.
I do not have that mental hang up.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I got a germophobia on the horizon.
I don't want to wash the goodness out of this one.
Yeah, and I'm like, if it's not washed, I cannot touch it again. Like when I go on a trip, every clothes that I have to put them in a bag and I wrap them up so they don't touch my clean clothes, and I wash them every time.
Jeans?
Yep.
You wash your jeans every time?
Sorry, nothing I wear has not been washed the day after I wear it. Yeah, I don't know.
Wild.
But I'm not married, so nobody's rate checking me. I can do whatever I want.
You could wear them 52
No.
times.
Nobody's saying that's weird. I can wash. I want to wash them.
Maybe I'm weird.
No.
Yeah, I think I'm more normal.
I feel this is weird when I do it. But look at this shirt. I've washed it 100 times.
And that's the reason why
not a hole, not a thinness, not a stain.
I know. So I'm wearing an outfit I typically would never wear.
I say if you go to the Viore store and you see the prices, you're going to be like, But listen.
Yeah.
If you wear it, and I tell Corrie, cost per use. So Corrie.
Okay, I do want to tell you this hack that I heard while I was at checkout. If you buy from them and it's your first time buying, you get 20% off.
Just keep adding a period in your name of your email. You get a 20% off code each time.
But if you went to in-store, the person, because I couldn't get 20% off, I was already locked and loaded. Okay. She was like, they were like, can I get 20% off? They're like, as long as the email isn't registered, you can do it in person.
Okay, so here's my dirty hack. Heather.miracle@gmail.com.
Yeah.
It's not my email. I'm giving you an example.
Right.
Heather.miracle@gmail.com. Let's pretend that's my email.
Yeah.
I've already signed up for the viewer.
Right.
I got 20% off.
Yes.
But I want another 20% off because I hate paying for it. I could do h.ether.miracle. I could do h.e.r.
These are all
different
to you?
emails. Unfortunately, you're now signed up on their list 3 different times. You'll get 3 different promotions every time they send an email.
To these random emails, but they all forward.
A period in a Gmail is considered the same email without the period. So you can add as many periods as you want because their newsletter sender sees it as a new sign up, but Gmail is like the same email. Gmail sees it that it's just a replica, but their system will add you that many times.
No way.
Ask me how many of your emails I got.
Well, why didn't I use that on Saturday?
We panicked.
I was very sweaty. It was hot.
When things are that expensive, like to buy a shirt for $60, $70 is a lot to me. But if the shirt lasts 100 times, that's,
$1 wash.
$1 wear. Would you, if I sold you a shirt for $1 and I said this is going to be the high quality shirt, wouldn't you buy it? The key is, and Corrie and I have had this intervention with her, you have to wear it over and over
That
again.
is my problem, is I will collect nice clothes and never wear them.
Because she doesn't want to mess them up. But I'm like, the goal is to get to the point where there's holes in it and you're like, wow, I got my money's worth.
I know.
So I'd rather, and I've moved into this, I'd rather have the space between my clothes in the closet because I have so few clothes, but each one is everything I love to wear. When I put it on, I feel great.
Yeah.
I love the way I look in it, and I wear it so many times. Like I was wearing this last week, but I washed it, of course. I was wearing it the week before and I washed it. I wore it every 3 weekends.
I've been wearing those Viore pants.
Right, and keep that going.
I have.
But if one article comes in, 2 must be donated.
Wow, why did that
Because
jump?
we need to thin out the closet of the cheap stuff. Yeah.
I don't think I have cheap stuff anymore. I think I have probably stuff I've never worn.
If you don't think I have cheap stuff, I want you to invite me over and let me look. You're going to stand
think
by
I
that?
have cheap stuff?
I don't think you get rid of stuff. No, I don't.
No, I told you. I remember I went through this big old purge.
But I didn't.
I went through it and then I went through it again.
Is there space between your hanging clothes?
No.
Okay.
But I don't wear any of that.
Then they need to be donated.
I need to wear them.
You're not going to. How many times do you wear dresses in a year?
Wore one a couple weeks ago. 2.
A dress?
Cons. I don't have dresses anymore. I threw those out.
Donation.
I have one dress.
Okay, that skirt you did not know. Okay.
I had no idea I had that skirt until
donate that one dress today.
I should.
Somebody who needs to wear a dress will be able to wear that dress. You're keeping them.
BCBG.
Oh, Corrie. Corrie.
Corrie.
Just by the sheer nature of that name.
Is that not nice? Brand? Is that a
I'm not even sure it's still in brand. BCBG was from when we were.
Was it? I know the dress is ungodly old.
Fashion company. We're seeing all used on ThreadUp for $17.
It's not even a store anymore?
It is Max Zaria.
Yeah.
I remember that. I wish I had a Wikipedia here. Vernon, Colorado. 1989 it was founded. Crazy. You can donate that one.
I know.
Still carried at Nordy.
Oh, it is. Now I gotta say
the guy who founded the company died in 2019.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. BCBG filed for bankruptcy in 2017.
Now
The
it's a
company is
collector's
not,
item.
Look at
All right, guys, we are headed to get lunch.